everyone. So, quick update. It is snowing again, and I don't know if I'm going to be going into work tomorrow because they're calling for another like 7 inches of snow. And yeah, we will just have to wait and see what that happens. But as of right now, Christy and I are still planning on going on a road trip Saturday unless the roads are absolutely awful. And I have a couple of crochet projects that I need to work on. I need to make another gnome hat, a pair of wristers, and I need to work on Persephone's dress. So hang out with me for a little bit while I work on the wristers because those ones are the fastest ones to do. The gnome hat is a very time intensive and intricate. It's not intricate's not quite the right word for it, but it is a very in-depth pattern with like a lot of stitch changes and stuff throughout it. So I kind of need to kind of focus on that one, and same with my daughter's dress, but I might work on that for a little bit later this evening. But yeah, the wristers in general don't need to be that damn long. Let's eyeball that real quick. So, that's probably a good length. So yeah, I'm going to be working on that, and I will have a little time lapse, and then I will add some stuff to it here at the end, and when I say goodbye. So I did pause on the wristers. I got about a third of the way done on the first one to work on my daughter's dress, and I'm using sugar wheel cotton, but I'm not sure what the name is. I know I've got several more skeins, but they're kind of like in a bag, and I don't want to get up and get it right now. It is really pretty. It's got like a little bit of sparkle thread. I don't know if it can be seen really easy, but it has like just a hint of glitter, maybe right there if you're watching for it. Just a hint of glitter in it. And this is for her winter formal sweetheart ball thing in February. And she asked for a dress to be made. So like I'm actually like really jazzed about the fact that she wants to wear something that I made. She wants to wear something I made. And someone just let the dogs out. And we have a black lab. We call her the meth lab because she's a jerk face. She's just really high energy. She's adopted and no one loves her, but she doesn't believe us when we tell her that. I did start this one. I'm saying a lot. I'm sorry about that. I'm a little tired. I have been up since like 3 this morning. So I did start this previously and it wasn't looking right. So I decided to start over, and I decided to double strand it to give it some texture's not quite the right word, but some more like oomph to it. It is a cotton yarn and it's quite thin, and trying to get the sizing and stuff right for the pattern, it wasn't looking right with how I was doing it. And the pattern is a vintage pattern. It is from 1969, and apparently women who crocheted in 1969 knew everything about everything, because this pattern makes a lot of assumptions about my intelligence level or something. Like, it's wow. I like modern day patterns. They make a lot more sense, to be perfectly honest. So I still planning on going into work tomorrow morning. So far the roads are relatively clear. And my craft room gets really, really hot because it's in kind of the back of the house. It's the farthest away from the thermostat. And the thermostat is in the coldest part of the house, which is also downstairs. So it gets hot and stuffy in here. So I leave the window actually cracked when I'm in here because otherwise I will die of heat stroke. And the breeze, it's, how do you describe the window? Like it doesn't slide up. You have to like pull it out and up. And so the wind, it's a wind, will actually like knock it open every so often. And then I get a slight like kiss of snow on me. And it's actually really kind of nice. And I like being in my own little world. Well, if you follow me on TikTok, you would have seen it actually. It was on TikTok, not on YouTube, now that I'm thinking about it. And if you watched that the other day, you would have seen it. But the way the window works, sorry, I had a burp. My husband made fettuccine Alfredo for supper, which is not my all-time favorite food. His homemade grilled cheese sandwich last night was probably like definitely in the top 20. He's an amazing cook. But it was really good. And I was also starving to death, so that kind of helps a little bit too, I suppose. Let's see. We did get the phone call that they canceled school for the kids, so there won't be any of that. At this rate, though, in like February is usually the worst month in Nebraska, so if it does continue on this trend, the kids might still be going to school in June, which might be normal for some other states. Nebraska's usually out mid-May. Like, graduation is on Mother's Day, and then it's usually one more week for everybody else, and then that's the end of the school year. And school starts mid-August, so we might have a couple of extra days of school this year to make up for it, which is kind of sucky, to be perfectly honest. I really hope, like, I'm honored that she wants me to home make her dress, but I hope she doesn't want a prom dress in the future, because, like, look at my finger. My hands might fall off. And honestly, I think that I would have to start it. What would I go and do that for? That's not what I wanted. That's not the drawers that I'm looking for. Where are you? Right there. Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. I had a total brain fart right there. That is not what I intended on doing. I need to mark that stitch, actually. And I need to mark this one. Oh, they're there. Christy asked, she normally goes to bed much earlier than what I do. And I asked her, I was like, why are you still awake? Why aren't you in bed? She goes, I can't sleep. Why are you still awake? And I was like, because being an exhausted pigeon is the one thing that I decided that would allow me to get things done. Otherwise, if I went to bed when she typically goes to bed, I would never have time to get anything done. I would just sleep and work, and that sounds awful, honestly. I would get no time with my family at all. Because I get home and it's like, especially today was a lot later. Today was like 6:45, almost 7, I think, when I got home. And then I ate supper, and she says she normally goes to bed between like 7:30 and 8. And so yeah, I would have hurried up, eaten supper, and went straight to bed, and that would have been awful. I wouldn't even had a chance to say hi to the kids. So this part that I'm working on is the bodice part, and then the sleeves are bell sleeves. It's called the Juliet pattern. I paid like $1 for it on Etsy, and I think that was a little bit more than what it should have been charged with, just because it's literally like I'm glad they're offering the pattern. I don't have a problem paying for patterns. I have paid for several patterns. The least they could have done, the seller, the least that they could have done was maybe translate the pattern into more modern day terms. What's up, Miha?
I have a question.
What's up?
Can I use your gel stuff instead to put on?
Yeah.
Can I go downstairs and grab them? I think it's downstairs.
Yeah. Okay. And anyway, they could have. I don't know the gender.
Real quick, you guys need to follow me. Follow me, guys. It says up. Just put up. You'll find it.
My daughter wants you to follow her shorts. What was I saying? The pattern. They could have put it in more modern terms, because it is a really pretty dress. It's definitely a vintage dress, but I do think it has a very classic look to it, and so it just would have been nice, and maybe, I don't know, double spacing the words, because it's very, very smushed together, which makes it very difficult for my brain to process, and the terminology, like I said, is a little bit archaic, so not cool with that necessarily, but we're going to go with it. So I have 2 more rounds after this one to finish the bodice, and then the next step on the pattern was the left sleeve, and this dress will end at about her knees, so it should all work out. And I did measure it on her to make sure that I was using the correct measurements, because I can't find my fabric tape measure anywhere, and I was trying to use a regular tape measure and it just did not work out well, so I actually did measure it with a little give to make sure that it would fit her. But yeah, I think I will let you guys go. Why do I keep doing that? I will let you guys go, and we played Dungeons and Dragons last night, and it was the first time that Christy's ever played, and she had a blast, and she is currently building a character backstory, because like I helped roll up a character for her, and she is an Aasimar barbarian, so if there's any other nerdy people out there, that is what she is. And yeah, so now I'll let you go. Have a good night.